Teams at NASA are on track to roll the Space Launch System rocket and the Orion spacecraft from the Vehicle Assembly Building, the VAB, to Launch Pad 39B no earlier than Friday, November 4th, with the first motion of the rocket targeted from 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Minor repairs that were identified through detailed inspections are mostly completed, and preparations are underway to ready the mobile launcher and VAB for rollout by configuring the mobile launcher arms and umbilicals and continuing to retract the access platforms surrounding SLS and Orion as work is completed. Engineers at NASA have tested the reaction control system on the twin booster setup of the SLS and also installed the flight batteries. They're both complete and those components are ready for flight. Engineers also replaced the batteries of the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, and they powered up a series of tests to ensure that the stage is functioning properly, and it worked flawlessly. Teams also successfully completed final confidence checks for the ICPS, the launch vehicle stage adapter, and the core stage forward skirt. This rocket is almost ready for flight. Testing of the rocket will continue happening until they take it out to the pad. And you know what? They also are working on the battery section of the rocket. They're also working on the core stage right now and the flight termination systems. So basically, they're getting this ready to launch. And this is a really important mission because the Artemis I mission paves the way for future missions. Artemis II, Artemis III, etc. Artemis II now is going to be a launch of humans around the moon and back down to Earth. They'll be launching from Florida and landing near San Diego off the coast in the Pacific Ocean. Now, from Artemis II, they're going to be moving on to Artemis III. And Artemis III should, in theory, if all works out well, have a landing crew go to the surface of the moon. Now, Artemis IV, this is a big deal because this just changed a little bit ago, just a couple days ago. Artemis IV was going to be sort of a supply mission because they're going to be building a habitat in the orbit of the moon. And this is where people will dock and they'll transfer ships from an Orion capsule to the HLS Starship, and the Starship will take them down to the surface of the moon. That's where they will be landing. Now, the Artemis III mission, let's back up a little bit. The Artemis III mission, the Orion and the Starship will dock, they'll mate, and the people will get out of the Orion, go into the Starship, land onto the surface of the moon, and then they'll get back in the Starship after they do their science work and their engineering work and all the studies that they're going to be doing down there and spending some time down there. They're going to launch back up from the moon into the moon's orbit, dock with Orion. Orion will make a series of burns in the orbit of the moon and make its way back down to Earth. Now, Artemis IV, that mission was supposed to send the first parts of the moon space station to the moon's orbit. Hi, I've got to ask you for a favor. Could you hit the like button real quick and also the subscribe button? Because it doesn't really help me that much as it helps you, because YouTube will see that and they'll see that you like spaceflight content and they'll start recommending you more things from NASA, SpaceX, and also other spaceflight creators. So thanks so much for hitting like and subscribe. And that was it. They're just going to do a module where people can land in there and dock with it and figure it out. You know, like that's what they're going to do. They're going to figure it out as they go. But now the Artemis IV mission also has another thing attached to it. The HLS will be going to the moon for Artemis IV as well. And I want to show you this. So this is a cool thing that happened. Jeff Faust showed us this chart the other day on Twitter. This chart includes a lunar landing on Artemis IV. NASA's previously projected the mission to be gateway only. So they're just going to only build what I was saying before, the moon space station. NASA's Mark Kiricich said after the panel, they are now planning to use that for SpaceX's HLS Option B Starship lander mission. Absolutely incredible. Now let's switch off to this next one, which is, let's see, who's this from? Marcia Smith. I want to make sure to give a little credit to Marcia Smith here. Follow up on Jeff Faust. NASA has notionally added a crewed landing to Artemis IV mission to align with plans for continued development with commercial partners for long-term human landing system needs. The agency routinely evaluates alternative architectures and update manifests as a prudent part of the programmatic planning. So NASA and private companies work together and they make sure that they have the best plan in place to move forward with these missions, no matter what they are, if they're Artemis or any other mission. And after considering different scenarios and options, NASA determined adding a landing to Artemis IV was feasible. And this wasn't feasible a few days ago. They figured it out. And they think it's a great idea. And they provided an additional opportunity for valuable scientific exploration of the lunar surface. So they're kind of moving forward. They're kind of pushing forward a few flights here. The Artemis IV mission includes the SLS Block 1B to launch crew in Orion, along with the IHAB for delivery to Gateway. The crew would transfer to the HLS lander, that's the Starship, through a docked interface on Gateway. NASA is still working toward launching the first elements of the Gateway, the power and propulsion element, and the habitation and logistics outpost in 2024 ahead of the Artemis IV mission. So the IHAB is where people will live, basically, and hang out in the moon orbiter. So this is a huge deal from NASA. And, you know, things like this have happened before in the Apollo program. There wasn't a set plan if something were to change. You know, like if they see an opportunity, NASA's really great at taking that opportunity and running with it. So that's what they're doing here with the Artemis IV. And this is a huge deal because it's pushing this forward, this crew landing years forward. We're going to be getting some crewed landing on Artemis 3 and Artemis 4. Absolutely incredible. And I'm super excited about it, and I cannot wait for this to happen. And you know what else I can't wait to happen? For you to check out StarshipShirts.com, the sponsor of our program today. 33 Raptor engine t-shirt, SpaceX Starship booster engine layout, short sleeve t-shirt. I got one. It's our merch store. Hang out, $16.99 for any shirt in the store right now. Check them out. They're really great shirts, and they're inspired by NASA and SpaceX. Let's check out the men's shirts here because we have some cool ones. Max Q, Neil, Michael, and Buzz. The Apollo shirt that everybody wants. Everyone, this one's selling like crazy. The Neil and Michael and Buzz shirt. Everyone loves this shirt. Now the Starship shirt, that's our logo. The Mars, Deimos, Phobos men's t-shirt. We also have the James Webb Space Telescope shirt. Mars, Sweet Mars. All sorts of cool shirts. If you're into spaceflight, if you know somebody who's into spaceflight, check it out, StarshipShirts.com. Let me know what you think in the comments about the NASA SLS rocket. I really do appreciate every single comment. I want to know what you think about it because do you think it's going to launch soon? There's been so many setbacks. We're not 100% sure what's going on with it. You know, are these final checks in the VAB? Are these actually going to be final checks? And when they pull this thing out on November 14th, is it actually going to launch? Let me know in the comments below because I'm hesitant to say yes, but I also want this to succeed so bad because there's so many things we could be doing in space with this rocket. Moon, Mars, beyond, it can launch so many great missions in the future. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this, make sure to hit subscribe.